Good day, dear friend. Let me first of all welcome you to this our version. This is our sister channel, if you will, called Lionel Legal. Lionel Nation is our first primary channel. This is more juridically minded and the like. I hereby ask, beseech, entreat, and request that you enjoy this. Make sure you bookmark it because I just found out that between 59 and 73% of all channels that you watch or that people watch are not subscribed to, and that is a crime, an absolute crime, and a horrible travesty. Let's get down to brass tacks. First, my friends, I want you to understand that today it's a very interesting case. New York Judge Juan Merchan postponed his anticipated Tuesday decision today on whether to uphold or dismiss or appeal or reverse President Trump's, quote, hush money conviction. It's not a hush money conviction. It's called like that, just like Daniel Penny was not a chokehold. We use these phrases. It's not a hush money. By the way, where is Stormy Daniels or Dusty Saddles or whatever the hell her name is? Where is she? Nowhere to be found. Completely gone. Through, finished, not even a part anymore of the real world. She is just, for all practical purposes, gone. Thank God. In any event, my friends, it appears that today was a big day. The judge has yet to decide on whether to toss the conviction, reverse the conviction, direct a verdict, judge non obstante verdicto, whatever you want to call it, given that Trump's presidential immunity case, which is before the court. Merchan said he would delay his decision until next Tuesday, the 19th, and the judge granted the prosecution's request to delay the hearing, and Trump was due to be sentenced on the 26th. Let me see if I can explain this to you in English. This case is going to just go nowhere. It's going to be floated, and it's going to disappear in the ether of this thing called abeyance, where we hold it in abeyance. It means like, well, we're not sure. We have to deal with, now follow this. The verdict is, let me ask you good people right now, has the president been convicted? He's referred to as a convicted felon. Has the president been convicted? Yes or no? Yes or no? By the way, I could say a special hello to our Kiwi friend, Angela Aisleby from New Zealand. She is a Kiwi. Thank you. Brian Manuel says no. Why is he not convicted? Ms. Milky the Clown says, love all the analysis. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Why is he not convicted? Come on. Let's go. Let's go, my friends. Why is he not convicted? Why is he not? Come on. The jury came back with guilty on all counts. 24 counts, whatever it was. Isn't that a conviction? Doesn't that count? Brian says, had to go through the appeal. Nope. You can be convicted and elect not to appeal, or you can be convicted, and that's why you're appealing. You're appealing the conviction. Think about that. It makes sense. I know sometimes people, he hasn't been sentenced yet. Different thing. Sentencing and conviction. Two completely different things. And like Sarah says, no, he has not been convicted because he hasn't been sentenced. No, sentencing comes afterwards. You have to be convicted first before you're sentenced, before you're actually given any. Now, this is where you need me. You need me. Let me explain to you. Sky God says, doesn't the president have the implied authority of the sovereign to declare deep state miscreants as domestic enemy combatants? Oh, man, I want to party with you. Oh, dear God. I want to party with this guy. First of all, my question is, what the hell does that even mean? Sovereign authority to declare deep state miscreants as domestic enemy combatants? You are you should write for like the Avengers or something. Oh my God. It's the most incredible thing I've ever heard in my life. What does this even mean? I have no earthly idea what that means, but it's good. The answer is no, of course. Well, here's the question. Let me tell you what the lawyer in you should ask. The first question is, what's the definition of conviction? Hey, this is called critical thinking. IRAC, IRAC, issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. This is the linear progression you go through. The first issue is, what's the issue? Well, what does it mean? I don't even know it. People will just sometimes, not you, but me, but they'll just immediately start answering the questions. Like, well, is he trihepatic? I don't think so. Do you know what that is? No, but I don't think he is. Don't think he's what? Whatever that means. So the first question is what it is. What it is. What is it? It's a formal finding of guilt by the court. A formal finding of guilt. You have been adjudicated guilty. No. Old Saul says, found guilty by a jury of your peers. No, he hasn't. That's not it. It's a formal finding of guilt. Not the verdict. Jury get the verdict. The jury says, as a trier of fact, we have ruled that the state proved beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt that these crimes were proved. So say we all. And you signed the verdict, and that's it. That was the verdict. Conviction is just no. We got to wait for the conviction. Old says, isn't that done by a jury? Nope. That's the verdict. Why I'm not a lawyer, I don't know. Let me give you the best example. Best analogy ever. Depending upon your jurisdiction, where you live in, if you get a speeding ticket, if you go before you get a speeding ticket and you say, I don't want the points. I don't want the points. Don't give me the points. Judge, don't give me the points. Now, I don't know where you are, but in the jurisdictions I'm familiar with, the judge can say, enter a plea of nolo contendere. Plead no contest. I'll withhold adjudication, meaning you were not convicted. It is possible to withhold adjudication in some cases, meaning you were not convicted. You get 0 points to withhold adjudication. I did not enter a formal finding of guilt. I'm going not, and it sounds like, what does that mean? I'm telling you, in this particular case, there was not that conviction yet. We're still debating this. We're still, arguing. For all practical purposes, if you've been found guilty, because let me explain something. When you're found guilty, after you're done, you can go before a court and you can file a motion for new trial. In civil cases, called judgment NOV, non obstante verdicto, a judgment notwithstanding the verdict. You can also issue, what happens is you can, at the end of the state's case in chief and the close of your defense, you make a motion for a judgment of acquittal. The judge can, for example, realize this is a piece of dog crap. I don't think the jury is going to come back with a guilty on this one. And let's say, for example, the jury doesn't. It could be a hung jury. Could be a hung jury or whatever the particular split is. So that's good. The judge is off the hook. Tee it up again, do it again, whatever you want to do. But let's say the judge listens to this and realizes, oh my God, this is a terrible case. And the jury comes back guilty. And the judge says, that was ridiculous. There's no evidence of this. So the judge can grant the motion for a judgment of acquittal after the verdict. A motion for new trial after the verdict. There's been no conviction. There's been no nothing. So all of this mumbo jumbo says until the judge issues a formal finding of guilt and says, I hereby adjudicate you guilty, you're not convicted. They're still arguing this point. And what Mershon is, he's a Democratic appointee, Alvin Bragg is a Democratic appointee. What did they want to do? They wanted to do this to affect the election. That's why they did it. Let me tell you again what this is. Lawfare, the purpose of this, the reason for this, what this was very simply in order to affect the election. That was it. Period. That was it. That's all. This is what lawfare is. It's the most incredible thing anybody has ever seen. It's what lawfare is. It's the most fascinating story there is. It's what lawfare is. That's all. Oops. And when you see people, and this is important, when you see people in the position, and this is important, but when you see people in the position themselves of utilizing lawsuits, criminal prosecutions and the like, just to stop elections, this is what we're talking about. It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Do you understand what I'm saying? Horrible. It is something that is no. I can't tell you what this man has been through. I can't tell you. And what is also so sad about this entire event, what is so critical, is that we're looking at something which is even more horrid. We're looking at somebody who dared to tell the world, I'm going to run for office. And they said, oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. And he said, no, I'm going to do it. They go, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not going to do this. He says, nope, not at all. Not at all. Now, a couple of things, my friends. When you talk to people about this, sad to say, many people will only base their opinion on whether they like Trump or not. It's very difficult for you to say this. They won't be able to say, this is what I believe. We also have the immunity claim. The cases are all going to be dissolved. You've got Fannie Willis in Fulton County, Georgia. That thing is a dog. They're just going to say, throw in the towel, forget it. She's been so compromised with her boyfriend, the garage door lover. Oh, this guy, Nathan Wade, horrible. What about Tiffany Henyard? Anybody remember Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Illinois? Huh? Anybody remember that one? She's still walking around, free as a bird. What the hell is that all about? I don't get it. So you have that one. You had the Mar-a-Lago case. That was a dog. That was through. Then you had the J6 case, which is a dog. Basically, they didn't get a parade permit. Then you had this judge. What's his name? Judge. Oh God. This was the case that nobody understands. This is the Tish James case where he was found liable of a fraud that nobody complained about, where they claimed to be overvalued. Anyway, that the Court of Appeals in New York said this is going to be probably a punt and a dog. It's just horrid. But let me ask you something. Where were you, my friends, Tuesday night when the most important event happened? Where were you Tuesday night? And what word would you use to describe how you felt? Did you have fun with friends of yours? Did you have fun laughing at them? Did you have fun trying to maintain your own decorum as you laughed and howled in their face? Did you? Did you have any of your friends? Brian watched. Mrs. L and I did a wonderful job. 6 hours we were on. It's over 6 hours. It was fun. I'm going to tell you something right now. I still can't believe he won. I still can't believe he won. I can't believe he won, and I can't believe that here after technically 3 attempts at, one assassination attempt and then 2 others, and it might have been a little bit more. That plus everything else, it just is incredible. And this was the most horrible, the most stupid campaign I've ever seen in my life. And Trump absolutely destroyed him. 312, I mean, You're never going to see her again. You're never going to see Kamala ever again. You're not going to see Kamala ever again. Understand that? She's just gone. She's just going to go away. Tampon Timmy, forget it. She's gone. They're just going to forget the whole thing as they conduct this mental masturbation exercise of, what do you think? Where did we go wrong? Where'd you go wrong? She sucked. What are you talking about? She was horrible. She was demented. What are you talking about? Well, do you think it was, excuse me, she's an idiot. Why are you looking at, you're acting as though she wasn't an idiot and made a point that people rejected. No, she was an idiot and they loved him. When you step in dog excrement, one might argue, why is this bothersome? Why? Because it's dog excrement. Yes, but why in particular? Is it, I haven't thought, it's dog. Do you want me to describe this for you? That's what she is, dog excrement. Would you like me to explain this to you? He was superb. He caught on with demographics we never thought. This has nothing to do with her. You had people at the Beverly Hills High School, Trump supporters, college campuses, Trump supporters, rappers, Diddy, everybody, Trump supporters, MAGA hats. They're still breaking apart the results from oh my God, from New Jersey. And it was just absolutely unbelievable. We're still looking at this in areas that nobody thought was even possible. They can't believe what happened. They still cannot believe what happened. It was unbelievable. I hope, let me see if I can say this again. It was unbelievable. And they still can't figure it out. Now, what I've been asking everybody to do on the other channel, and I want to ask you right now, is simply this. Do me a favor. Do not repost or in any way involve yourself in the reposting, retweeting, or republication or mention of anything involving The View. Do not mention this ever again in any circumstance whatsoever. Do I make myself clear? Do not do it. Do not mention them. These harridans, these termagants, these viragos, these harpies, shrews, horrid, rancid, these witches, do not mention them under any circumstance. Never again. Let us dry the taproot. Let us desiccate the taproot of this horrible, whatever the hell this thing is. Let us end it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I am saying? I hope you do. I hope you do. And the second thing goes for, and this is important, for the president and his staff, stop going on CNN. Stephen Miller, I think, is a fantastic choice. I think he's the most brilliant of the entire. Tom Homan, as borders are, incredible. Others I'm not too crazy about. Marco Rubio, he's a putz. He's a shill. Secretary of State. And Elise Stefanik, no. But you know what, Mr. President, you're entitled to pick anybody you want. As long as you say something, as long as you say, I want you to absolutely know what is going on here. I'm in charge. Let me also tell you something as a lawyer, as a proponent of the First Amendment, what Elise Stefanik was doing regarding people who dared to protest against Israel at college campuses and then throwing, I guess, calling it anti-Semitic. Why did you care? Why does anyone care about the Harvard president Gay and the Penn? Because not you didn't handle protests the right way. Nobody in this government gave a rat's arse about the protests and the violence that was exhibited after the George Floyd case. Nobody ever said, nobody ever asked somebody, called BLM folks anti-white. Nobody said that. Nobody called them racist. Nobody went after Antifa, which is a domestic terrorist, domestic shock troops. Nobody went after them. But they went after students who dared to disagree with a country, a foreign country. And they were called anti-Semitic. Nobody said anything. And Marco Rubio and Stefanik, okay, look, Mr. President, that's up to you. I'm a firm believer in the First Amendment. Absolutely indefatigable member of the First Amendment. I am not kidding. I can't believe what I saw. I can't believe what I'm hearing at college campuses. That being said, we are now hearing things being spoken of that have not been spoken of before. I'm hearing people talking about Building 7, World Trade Center, Building 7, the miraculous collapse of Building 7 at 5:20 p.m. on the 11th day of September, 23 years ago. Miraculous. Hit by nothing. And at 5:20 p.m., nobody mentioned anything. People, scholars who say, never forget. I want to know what happened. Nobody talked about it until now. Thank God for Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. Candace Owens was talking about this. She was recycling a loose change. The world of 9/11 has been something that's just been, we just don't talk about it. It's like that uncle or that relative where they say, don't ask about so-and-so. Grandma, whatever happened to grandma? Don't talk about it. Well, what happened? We don't talk about that. Why don't you talk about it? We just don't. They're talking about that. Finally, somebody's talking about geoengineering for the first time. You may call them chemtrails, don't. Geoengineering. This is Bill Gates. This is solar radiation management. Carbon dioxide removal, stratospheric injection, strontium, barium. You can see them. Nobody talked about them. It was called a conspiracy theory until now, thanks to these people. They're talking about wanting to undo the JFK files. You're not going to see anything in files. You will never know anything about JFK. It's over. Forget it. Put that one out of your mind. It's not going to happen. Same thing with UFOs. There's nothing in files. You're not going to find anything in files. Nothing's going to happen. But at least we're talking about it. At least. And now Bobby Kennedy, God bless him, is coming forward talking about vaccines. And not talking about vaccines in a negative way, like he doesn't believe a vaccine. On the contrary, he says he believes a vaccine should be tested. Doesn't that make sense to you? It does to me. And he was on this show with this hack, Elizabeth Vargas, one of these news shows, just desperately trying to gain some kind of traction. And Elizabeth Vargas was on, and she said, oh, come on. Bobby Kennedy knows this subject inside and out. Regarding testing, this was never talked about until now. Now, for the first time, people are talking about in 2020, they're looking at the numbers and say, wait a minute, these numbers don't jive. How were all these people there, but not now? They're also looking at the Carrie Lake case. How did she lose and Trump win? How did Gallegos win and those numbers didn't apply to her? And in the old days, nobody said anything because you were afraid to mention anything about elections or election denial. But like these rat bastards at Fox News and others who are under lawsuits, they're shutting everybody up. And let me tell you something right now. You listen to me. If I find out that you're watching anything on cable news, I will come and I will haunt you. I will walk through your house at night dragging a chain. Okay? Turn cable news off. It's a joke. It's a bad joke. From Hannity all the way down to Levin, these are hacks. They're given this much to talk about. They will never, ever say anything involving anything even remotely questioning Israel and the slaughter and massacre of innocent children in Gaza. If you got a problem with that, you're not paying attention to what's going on. They also won't say anything about Ukraine because, God forbid, they should look like they're being weak on Putin. I despise these people. What you're looking at right now, my friend, is the future. Do you hear what I'm saying? You're looking at something which is so great, so grand, so unbelievable, fantastic. This is the future. I want you to recognize this. You can go from me and talk to other people, great people, glorious people, smart people. When it comes to this, John Mearsheimer, they picked Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. Oh my God, it's an insult. But, Mr. President, maybe, you're entitled to make some mistake. Oh, John Mearsheimer, I love him. For me, Defense Secretary would be Colonel Douglas McGregor. Absolutely. And when it comes to Supreme Court Justice, you want to pick that idiot, Kamala? I say Judge Napolitano, if that's where you're going. Okay, he's 73, whatever. I don't care. He's got many, many years. He is still incredible. I want to turn this upside down. What we're seeing right now is we need people who are not hacks. We need people who really understand what's happening. Let me ask you something. What country right now poses the biggest threat to the U.S.? Answer me. What country poses what country poses the threat to this country? What country? Number one, what is it? What is this? Lori Lewis says, is it finalized for Rubio? No, that's what I'm hearing, though. He's, let me see this. Rubio. Mark Rubio. It says Trump expected the name. Trump lining up Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem. Okay, so she ate a shot at dog. John Fetterman says Marco Rubio, another staunch supporter of Israel, is a strong choice for Secretary of State. Fetterman, by the way, was the most incredible thing in the world. Fetterman was a guy who was walking around who was basically a cyborg. He was like, he was bad. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to make fun of him. He was bad. Bad, Lori, bad. You know it and I know it. Then all of a sudden he sounds so clear. Same thing with Biden the other day. Did you see him? He was talking. He was like, who's this? He was so clear. Such clarity. It's like, my God, he was fantastic. Holy God, look at this. It's great. What happened to you? I don't know. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm doing great. Kamala was happy to, hey, don't worry about it. She pulled a Hillary at Howard University. Hey, what are you going to do? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She was so happy to be done with this crap. But who was it? Biden was like Kaiser Sose, with his foot straightened up when he's walking. He was doing great, except on the beach walking in sand. But that's a different story. See, the world that we see, they don't want to know. They don't want to know. Did you ever hear Scott Ritter? Did you ever hear him? Oh, man. Wow. So let me tell you something right now. The biggest one, China. Gracie's got it. China. Not Mexico, China. China is a threat. And we're not talking militaristic necessarily. We're talking at every level that you can imagine. China. Not Putin, not Russia. Never Russia. Never. Russia was never a threat to us. Russia? Russia's a threat? Look, with all due respect to the Russians, I think they're doing a great job. I think they're great people, blah, blah, blah. But they don't pose a threat. What are you, nuts? Are you kidding me? The threat is here. Let me tell you something right now. Listen to me very, very carefully. And I want to show you something right now. There's a company which I want you to be aware of. And it's called preparedness.com. Let me tell you why. This is what is called I guess you would call it a survival emergency food. It is the best there is. The best. Go there and you cannot believe all of the stuff that they sell, from water purification to biomass heaters to solar power generators, name it. But food, emergency food. It's the most incredible thing. Anyway, so I was talking to somebody. They said, why are you interested in getting food? What's this food for? What? Come on, we've got stores. Really? Yeah. What's this food business? And they really don't know. And you ask them, do you know how much of our food, our areas, food, farmland that China owns? Any idea? Do you have any clue? Any clue? And Americans, as you know nothing. They know nothing about this. Nothing. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. They know nothing. And you say, but what do you, let me tell you something. The first time, remember we talked about this last time, dock strikes. Dock strikes are an important thing because when we had that, the risk of the dock strike, longshoremen, they didn't settle it. They just put it on hold, kind of like Trump's prosecutions. And in states like New York, where in states like Florida, with a Republican governor, that's great too because they can not federalize, but they can call in the state, National Guard, whatever, to help unload. But in New York, in New Jersey, Port Newark, Port Elizabeth, in California with Gavin Newsom, if they decide, okay, Trump, you want to be president? Here you go. Have at it. Watch this. You know what would happen? This is the stuff that I think about. I'm thinking to myself, you better be really thinking about this thing big time. Because what's going to happen very simply, is all of a sudden there's an interruption. Gas, oil, products, foods, name it. Just an interruption. And when you interrupt it in the chain, it stops. And then there's panic. And then the next thing you know, things don't get where they're supposed to. And there's a little bit of a backlog and people get upset. And then the local news decides to go and start covering all about how people are freaked out. Anybody here, if in the New York area, whenever there's the slightest bit of snow, what do? They run these stories about, hey, they're getting toilet paper, water, milk, bread, and snow shovels. Why they want to go for milk and bread? God forbid you're, lactose intolerant inside a small home. Everybody's in there locked in with heaters going, you know what I mean? Not pretty. Not pretty. Plus a snow shovel. They love to talk about this because the mainstream media love to foment and encourage hatred and fear and panic. And then the next thing you know, you see pictures of people lined up at stores because they get freaked out. Remember in the old days when we had hand sanitizer? We had to get hand sanitizer. I can't find hand sanitizer with the particular, with the right amount of alcohol. And then you said, well, the cupboards are bare with toilet paper. And then people start rushing. In the old days, we used to have Black Friday where we would go to places like Best Buy and kill each other for a plasma TV, which, of course, nobody wants anymore. So that happens. Then the next thing you know, you're going to have insurance companies that tell stores, Costco and Trader Joe's or whatever, Acme and Publix, close because there's going to be riots. Because people are outside in the parking lot, and as long as you're there, you're going to be risking store employees, and we can't go through that. To remain open during what amounts to martial, no. Close down. And then all hell breaks loose. Now, when you ask somebody, how long can you go? Think about this. How long can you go without food? It's never happened. At least we don't think so. Except if you live in Florida or North Carolina. Is everybody in Florida taken care of? I don't know. So the bottom line is simply this. I live in a world where I am realistic and my friends don't like it. Because when I tell people things, it's the truth. They get all upset. Because Americans don't learn. Americans simply do not learn. And the country that you got to worry the most about is China. Not that China's going to nuke us. You don't need to nuke. China was sending remember the balloons? They were sending the balloons? China is sucking up our data. China, there is nobody that needs to be watched. And thank God for President Trump to put them on a short leash and to be told, you better do what we say or there's going to be hell to pay. Do you understand what's going on here? Now, here's the thing right now. Beastly idiocy says, the U.S. government is a swamp. It cannot be drained. First of all, do me a favor. Stop this drain the swamp. What does that mean? You don't want to drain it. You don't drain a swamp. Think about it. In the real world, it doesn't drain. It doesn't. It's called the shadow government. The shadow government is the overarching system that runs everything, the shadow government. Underneath that, the government are different divisions. And of course, there's military, but there's also entertainment. And entertainment is the propaganda unit. Entertainment is the propaganda unit of this. Are you watching the Diddy case? Did you see Oprah? Did you see that picture of Oprah walking? Did you see her walking in the I could have it. I'm not going to show it to you, but she was in Santa Barbara. Anybody see that? Did you see her walking? I thought it was a joke. I said, who's this old lady? I thought, look at this. They got this old woman. They're claiming it's Oprah. That is Oprah. Did you see that? She's walking. Did you see it? Look at this. CNN doing big layoffs. Is that new? Is that new? Oh, they're going to be closed. They're going to be closed. You know what happened here in New York City? New York City, iHeartRadio, WOR. I used to work with WOR, used to WABC. WOR, when you see three-letter numbers, three-letter stations, you know they've been around forever. Forever, okay? Three-letter stations. They just shut down the morning show. Morning Drive, New York, because they're not getting the number. Morning Drive, that's the numbers are, in the old days, so big. That was your anchor. It's different. Everything is changing. CNN is dead. MSDNC is dead. That's why I ask you, please do me a favor. Do not watch The View, but more importantly, do not post it. Remember that stupid Howard Stern? Howard Stern, I think I told you this. Howard Stern is this. Listen, during his day, he was something, but now he's a relic. And he's on Sirius. Nobody was listening to that crap. Sirius, I like it in the car. I got a Yugo. It's a stretch. It's a classic. But I like, Willie's jukebox and Roadhouse and, some things here and there. I'm a Spotify guy. I don't want to hear any kind of music. The idea I'm listening to your playlist is the most bizarre thing I've ever heard. So anyway, iHeartRadio, they canned Morning Drive, their Morning Drive show. Oh my God, that's not making money enough for you. Yeah, let's run them some news guy. Just read the news copy. We'll save some money. Save some money. I did Morning Drive on WABC. That was a cash cow. I mean, that was serious stuff. But anyway, that was then. This is now. So what happened was when Kamala was on Howard Stern, where the benefit came, both to Stern and her, not from that, but from people who heard it on YouTube or on social media platformings. That's where it made a difference. That's where it was. This makes sense to you? That's where it made sense. So she went on Stern, not to go after the Stern audience, but to hear for the audience of the Stern show that put it on YouTube or on TikTok or something else. TikTok is a mofo. I think you know what that means. I love X. I'm at Lionel Media on X. Watch my stuff. It's good. I don't come up with it. I pick up some good ones and have great commentary. The point is, it's a different world. And the best is Fox News. Hacks. It's just like you're watching Rush Limbaugh. God bless Rush Limbaugh. I work with him. I love him. But it's over. It's a different world. It's a different world. Let me ask you something. I'm going to say one word to you. One word. Plastic. No. I'm going to say one word. And tell me what's associated with it. I'm just going to tell you. One word. Ready? Okay, ready? Here we go. HARP. What is it? Look at Prometheus. God bless you, Prometheus. There was respect for her driving her own car, Oprah. Yeah, I wonder where her security was. What's HARP? HAARP. I'll give you some. Look at this. Jay Nash says, I love this. Conspiracy. Jay, come on. You know better than that. Come on. What is it? Weather control. That's it. Thank you, William. See, you're in the party. Anybody who says, I love this harp. Donna, you are so cute. Donna Halstead said her company. No, that's Harpo, but that's very good. That was very good. Harp is HAARP. Now, the reason why I bring it up, I never get it right, is high auroral, high frequency active auroral research project. It was out of Fairbanks, Alaska, and it was ionizing and warming the air. Okay. We know what that is. Walk into Hannity and say, what's HARP? I don't know. But he knows a lot about things like, Ronald Reagan or something. That's fine. What's BRICS? The BRICS Summit. Nobody has any. The guy in the suit. You notice the guy in the suit, Brick Man, the brick, he's always at the Trump rallies. Brick. Remember he wore the brick with a mustache? Thought it was Gavin McGinnis from the first one. BRIC is BRICS. BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. BRICS plus. Is this BRICS plus 6 or BRICS plus? BRICS plus. BRICS plus. I think it's BRICS plus 6. But it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates. This is the biggest thing anybody's ever seen. You think Sean Hannity's talked about BRICS? Are you kidding me? Hell, has Trump talked about it? No. It's the biggest thing in the world. Go to European and Global South and go to any place. Global South. Do you ever hear that word? Global South? No. We live in a world. We live in Mayberry. You live in Hooterville. You live in Hooterville. Do you understand what I'm saying? You watch that crap. It's like, listen, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I told you for the first time they're talking about Building 7. You think Sean Hannity never forget? Oh, whatever. I've lived in a world of these people, and I'm not even suggesting anything that you might think I'm suggesting. I just want to know, would you tell me what happened with her? Would you tell me the story? It's the weirdest thing. Bobby Kennedy, God bless him, he's talking about vaccines for the first time. God bless these people. We're talking about stolen elections. Don't you understand this all happened with Trump? And they're so scared, as we say here in Hell's Kitchen, they're so scared at Fox because of the Dominion and Smartmatic, they're not saying anything about it. They're worthless. They're worthless. They sit around in the morning. You ever see that? I can't watch it. You ever see that morning show, Hooterville? Goober and Ainsley? I love our troops. I love our troops. That's good. Who is this? That's Ainsley. Who's Ainsley? Oh, Hannity's girlfriend. Okay, I got it. Got it. She sits there reading her notes. As far as I'm concerned, we have, hang on, I'm missing a page here. Got this poor guy, Lawrence. He's doing better. Mishkino Lawrence. Who are these people? Steve Ducey. Let's go to a diner. No, let's not. What is this? We're over here. We're in the dark world. We want to know other stuff too. We want to know about other stuff. We want to talk about the Fed. We want to talk about how these things come about. We want to know what's really going on. Do you ever hear him talk about Bilderberg? No. Mont Pelerin? No. You ever hear about? No. Even when remember when that you know who was found in his cell? Remember that? They won't even talk about that. They won't talk about anything. They are plants and they're shills. They're covers, limited hangouts. They're the worst. And we're saying thank you and good night. If you watch any of this stuff, when all the great, you remember when Trump was doing his rallies, Right Side Broadcasting, God bless them. God bless them. And it was like younger people doing things and they're reading off of their phone. I loved it. There was a real rawness to it. And you deserve better than that. And they think you're stupid. You don't understand this. You're a freak. Oh, you're that conspiracy nut. You don't understand it. Don't forget what Gore Vidal said. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy analyst. And that's what this is about. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. I mean to tell you, this is something you are going to see a world when you've got people like Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Bobby Kennedy. Oh my God. You know who else is going to be making the comeback? Alex Jones. Alex Jones. I don't know how they're going to do. They're going to pay him once he gets that bankruptcy thing taken. You got that? Okay, good. And then he set him up with some. He was one of the most important. He's a little erratic sometimes, a little controversial, but phenomenal. He's coming back. They're all coming back. And did you see this guy named Pacman, David Pacman? Did you see that? He was bitching and moaning and crying. I lost 5,000. I lost people because your message sucks, because we're a different country now. Nobody cared. When we were losing people, nobody cared about us. Nobody cared about us. Let me ask you something. How many of you great, brave friends have lost a friend, a family member, been disinvited to a birthday party or whatever it is because of your associated, you're purported and alleged associated with the Trump movement? How many? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody? How many? Who? How many where people stop talking to you? People give you a dirty look. This one won't talk to you. How many of you have been in Facebook jail or one of these deplatformed or dethroned or demonetized or whatever it is because you've dared to say something? How many of you have lost friends, business associates? Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't bring it up. Now we're going to Aunt Maxine's. Don't bring up Trump. Remember that? But how many of you have ever heard, listen carefully, how many of you have ever heard of a Trump supporter who told a Biden supporter, you can't come to Thanksgiving or Christmas? It never happens because we don't give a rat's ass about other people. We don't care. We don't care. Vote for Biden. It doesn't matter. You're not a threat to us, but we're a threat to them. Why do you think that is? Because they know we're right. They know we're right. What was the message of the Kamala organization? What was it? I don't know. Did she have a slogan? I don't know. Him, make America great again. What was hers? Harris Walls, turn the page. Wait a minute, you're the page. Remember that numbnut's wife of his? Turn the page, you're the page. What are you talking about? Remember Barney Frank? He turned the page. That's an old joke. Ask your parents. My friends, please, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, understand what I'm telling you. I speak the truth. I don't care whether what I'm saying is positive or people want to hear it. Sorry. I'm sorry. You know what I care about? I care about this. Where is it? I care about it. Two things. I care about this. I care about the flag. I care about my country, first of all. And second, the rest of the world. Notice how I use props. The world is fine. That's terrific. This is the rest of the world. Okay, good. We'll get to you later on. Okay, Israel. Okay, Ukraine. All right. China, we're watching you. You know what? We'll get to you later. We'll get to you later. We'll worry about us. I want to take care of us first. I'm going to claw back all that money. Every dollar that went to some 2,000-pound bomb, some JDAM that destroyed some neighborhood in Gaza. No, here. Sorry, here. Same thing with Ukraine. I want to get that Zelensky, claw all that money back. I don't know who this guy is, but they've got him set up as a billionaire in what? Cyprus or Miami or the Emirates? No. Does that make me what? Makes me rational. And you know it. You believe it too. You know exactly what I'm saying. Now, is that far-fetched? I don't know. Let me also tell you something. I'm really nuts because men are men and women are women. Now, let me finish. And for purposes of things like sports, okay, where there's physical activity and physical ability involved. But if you want to dress up and claim, if you want to go from Rick to Ramona, I don't care. That doesn't matter to me in the least. Go ahead. You can be fluid. I don't care. Sports? A man? In a locker room with girls? No. Why? You're asking me why? People don't know. Don't make me laugh. Is that conservative? Nope. I'm an originalist. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do me a favor. First of all, I want you to understand a couple of things. First of all, I want to thank you, Laurie Lewis, and you, Prometheus Forever. Thank you for your kindness, your philanthropy, for your intellectual philanthropy. Saying that you want to encourage me and spending 50 minutes of my time with you. That's okay. I understand. I appreciate that. Thank you for that. Common sense is going to rule. We're going to win this thing. And the greatest a week ago today was still unbelievable. You're not going to see Gay Mile ever again, and you're not going to see Tampon Timmy. Trust me on that one. All right, dear friends, do me a favor. Number one, make sure you are subscribed. Subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed. Subscribe to Lionel Legal. Make sure you are subscribed. And then later at 7 p.m., we're going to be at Lionel Nation. Okay? Lionel Nation. And we're going to do this again. And I want to thank you. Thank you for all your, thank you, not for what you are, but for what you appear to be. And I mean that sincerely. Until then, my friends, as we always say, this is our valedictory, our sayonara, our adios. Remember this? The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.